Hello and welcome back. We are Three Different Ones. I'm Stefan.
I'm Travis.
I'm Graham.
And today we have an album that is a special little episode we're doing. We are covering the album Symbolic, the 95 album by Death. And this is brought to us by request. One of our fans, one of our listeners, fan of the show, told us, just left us a comment on one of our videos and said, like you to do this album. So we're doing it.
Here it is.
And that is open to all, by the way. So if you have an album you like to hear, a review, or an analysis for, just drop it in the comments, let us know. And we have an
We'll do anything.
We will. Open to all.
Anything after 1965?
Yes.
Is that the cutoff?
Yeah.
65 or later.
And maybe we can make an exception for
64.
Something. Yeah.
Within reason.
Right.
We'll do it.
All right.
And this was definitely outside the box for me. This is screamo.
This is no.
Or is this just thrash?
No.
What is this?
No. So
speed metal.
Death
metal.
Death is like the pioneer band for death metal, I would say.
Okay.
But Symbolic is one of their first albums that kind of transitions to like technical death metal, like progressive death metal. So
I could see progressive.
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely prog death.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know. I was like, is it kind of thrash? I mean, it does have some thrash elements for sure, but I would say this is death metal.
Okay. Okay.
90s. Oh, I mean, late 80s.
And that's characterized by the vocals, right?
Riffs, vocals. Yeah.
A lot of speed in these songs.
Yeah.
A lot of double bass.
Yes.
Oh man, that drummer.
Yes.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yep. That's look. This was a very difficult one to listen to. This is so.
It's not easy listening if you're not into this.
Outside the wheelhouse
Yeah.
for moi, definitely.
Okay.
There are elements to a lot of these songs that I enjoyed, but
Had either of y'all ever heard anything by Death?
never even heard of Death.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a band.
Before that.
Gotcha.
You told us this was.
Yeah.
Had you listened to it?
I had never listened to this whole album. I'd heard Crystal Mountain, Symbolic, like the big ones off this album, but never listened to it straight through.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a niche band, and this is a niche album with a niche band. Like it's a very, we're getting into the deep cuts right here.
Yeah. Which is interesting because they call that guy like the godfather of death metal.
Yeah. Yep.
The singer?
Chuck Schuldiner.
Yes. And apparently, I mean, I briefly looked at the wiki, but he kind of says, or he doesn't love that title. Like, he's like, we just kind of did our thing. I don't know if we're the originators of death metal.
Right.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, he seems
very
like
humble about it.
I don't know much about the guy. I mean,
I know nothing about
yeah,
these
but
guys.
that sounded like a humble.
You like hearing
fella.
that? Yeah.
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 I know. I read too that because I think there were a lot of lineup changes with him being the one constant, but that he would hire studio musicians like specifically for the sound he wanted on that album. Like, there's this, and I think Perseverance of Sound.
They're good musicians.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, they are.
I would say of all the metal albums we've done, these guys are the best players.
Yeah, I've not really gotten deep into them, but I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to just go straight to it, but if you could cut the vocals, I thought this would be, it's top tier. The vocals just...
Dude, it's just... It doesn't... And I felt like a dick writing this in my notes. It never feels like... We did the Metallica album, Kill 'Em All. And I'm not the biggest Hetfield fan, but like, I think the way he sounds, it works for that band, for the way it blends. It sounds organic. With this, and part of me wondered if this is just kind of like a staple of the genre. If like it just felt like the vocals were just stacked on top of the band. It didn't didn't feel right.
Right. We just needed somebody to sing. We're all ridiculous musicians, and one guy volunteered to do it.
Yeah, it's an interesting contrast because the music itself is not that.
Dude, it was weird.
No.
Like, kind of good weird, though.
Yes.
Instrumentally.
Dude, I hear a lot of Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good comparison.
The prog.
Yes.
The guitar player especially has such that flangey Alex Lifeson
dude,
tone.
I was like, is that flange? Okay.
It is flange, man.
I loved this is not the first song, but just the opening of Empty Words was so
like clean Arabian guitar sound. Yeah.
Some bongo in there and just that eerie sound.
Yeah.
Like it was soft too. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
The reverb too, it just felt like an open chamber, like in like a pyramid.
Yes.
I don't know why. That's what I imagined.
Pretty good sounding
like
album.
Production.
Like I was surprised. You know. Yes. I mean, they must have had a good budget, or they were just good sound engineers.
I was gonna say, I think he was real into that kind of stuff.
Like
very particular. I think that's why there's so many lineup changes. Like, all right, I need this for this. You're not the guy for it. Here's the next guy.
See it. I wasn't a huge. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of the vocals either, but at the same time, it felt like authentic. Like I believed it. Like it.
This was not a radio metal band.
right.
No.
Or even like a gimmicky thing with the screaming. It felt like, okay, this. I mean, he sounds like a goblin or something.
Yes, he sounds like a monster.
An Urk. Like it sounded like something out of like a fantasy film or something.
For sure.
Like you know, I don't know. I mean,
those elements are definitely at play.
Like some medievalness too.
Crystal Mountain gave me like a fantasy vibe.
Yes.
Especially the acoustic guitar.
Always
section.
with prog stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of times metal, you get kind of that epic, like swords and sorcery vibe to it.
As epic as the ogre stuff from Queen 2.
Yeah. And I could even see them being into something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like storytelling. The guitar player kind of had a little bit of Brian May to him. Slight, like with the tone and some of the scales. Yeah. But definitely a metal, like it
heavier.
Maybe sounded like something you'd hear off like a Megadeth album, maybe.
Musically, I could see that. Yeah. Just a little heavier, like the pinch harmonics and some of the stuff.
Sure. And the scales that are kind of...
Yep, that kind of like, is it Phrygian?
I don't know what the mode is, but maybe.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like, I hate to say neoclassical, but like...
Sure. There's like some...
A little bit of that.
Some classical scales in there.
Eastern...
Yes. Which I thought the guitar player was great.
Yeah. What'd you think about those, like... I guess they're harmonies, but like...
Harmony guitars?
Yeah, but it's like a weird interval.
Yeah, I thought that was okay. I mean, it was
I've always characterized Death with that sound. I always thought that was a staple Death thing.
Okay.
Like that specific interval.
I didn't know what to expect going into this. I was kind of dreading this album. Because we have done a lot of metal albums, and a lot of them I haven't been a big fan of, but I didn't expect this to be as like complex.
This is way more technical than anything we've done.
I just thought this would be like a thrashing.
Me too. Me too. I thought
I honestly didn't really know what to expect.
I thought every song was going to sound the same, honestly.
That's the thing too, is like looking back on it, I'm like, I couldn't tell you which part was from what song. Like there's so many time changes and like so many parts to songs, and I mean to the prog point, like everything was 5 to 8 minutes, you know, like longer songs, very elaborate.
And you had heard a few of these before, right?
Yeah.
Did you like them when you heard them before this listen through?
It's not like I'd be sitting there and I'm like, man, I really want to listen to Crystal Mountain right now. Yeah. You know, it was never something that was just like, oh, I'm in the mood for that. Yeah. But it was like, if it was on, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll listen to it. Okay. But yeah.
Did you like Crystal Mountain, the song?
I feel like that's just a classic Death song. Like, if you had to pick a big Death songs, that would definitely be on the list.
Okay.
I think Misanthrope might have been my favorite.
Yeah. Let's see, that's towards the end, right?
Symbolic was good. I thought Symbolic was a hell of an opener.
Yes.
It was just like, whoa, this is not what I expected.
Right.
That might have been my favorite one.
Yeah.
Symbolic?
Yeah.
The opener?
Super sinister to start, like, just real...
That's just a perfect metal riff.
Yeah, exactly. Just straight into the weird time changes. I mean, there's what, like 3 within 2 minutes?
It's all over.
Yeah, and that really caught me off guard. Like,
just
it was like, holy crap.
Dude, the double bass and the cymbal work was like, what the heck?
I know, and that's kind of where I was getting a little Rush vibes. It's kind of that ride cymbal work. It seems very Neil Peart.
All over, like, the bells, just...
Yeah,
like,
and you said that they would bring, or this guy, what's his name?
The singer?
Chuck Schuldiner.
Yeah.
Old Chaz. He would bring in session players.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing these guys probably have, like, jazz backgrounds. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, really impressive.
The solos... Dude, and they're all like real different feels too throughout the album. Like all the solos seemed very different in style. Yeah, you know. I mean,
I think Chuck played some of the leads, and the other guy played some of the leads.
Oh, Chuck did guitar.
That's what I read. Yeah,
okay.
On the credits, he said he played some lead guitar, and the other guy played lead guitar.
It's interesting too. Like I know just. In being a metal fan, like I've seen his name show up so many times throughout the years of like, you know, being influential and whatnot, and specifically the DiMarzio X2N pickup. That was like the first rail pickup, and that's what he used, and it was just like definitive Chuck sound. I don't know, like that shaped his sound. Like,
is that what you hear on that opening riff? You think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think rails are typically like real flat in sound. Like, you know, nothing scooped about them or, you know, like a JB has a certain sound. You know what I mean? They're kind of quacky. And like the X2N was just real, I don't know, but he like, I feel like brought that pickup into light.
All right. That's
the only reason I know anything about it is Chuck.
Right. This is talk for those guitar nerds out there.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like anybody listening to this, though, is going to either be super into Death or, you know, probably play. Or...
I mean, I get kind of lost on pickup talk, honestly. But, like, I know what you're saying. There's a signature sound to it.
There's a specific sound to it, for sure.
Yeah, and I kind of like it. I mean, I'm not a big metal guy, but I'm like, that's good tone. Yeah. There's good tone on this album.
Yeah. Something that's kind of rare and... metal.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's just high gain and scooped.
Yeah, man.
This is, I feel like there's a lot of effort put into the sound on this.
Yeah.
But I loved Symbolic. I thought it was fantastic.
Strong.
Yeah. Zero Tolerance. Next track.
I love the drums.
Yeah,
this one. Hoagland.
The drum intro.
Yes, and Kelly Conlon, the bassist, has just a thankless job during that second guitar solo. Just keeping that beat. I thought I love this song.
Yeah.
Just through and through, I think this one of my favorites from this one.
Sinister is a word I put in my notes a lot throughout this. Just the sound, the riffs.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think this was the first with some pinch harmonics. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that squeal sound.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Kind of had an old school Maiden feel to it.
Yeah.
Like that mixed with like a 90s death metal feel.
I could see that.
Which I liked. And I read too, like Chuck wanted a more like melodic sound with this album. Like I think the early stuff is just like definitive death metal, whereas this is starting to get a little more technical, prog, melodic.
Yeah. That was a good choice in my opinion.
Which is interesting because I feel like this is a divisive album for Death fans.
Oh, really?
From what I've read.
Yeah, I could see that.
Chuck sold out on this.
Yeah, it's so
sold
mainstream.
Out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, how can you even say sold out?
The most tired of criticisms.
Right. But you're always going to have that when you start out and become famous for your one particular sound.
Yep.
You make a big change, you're going to lose a lot of people.
Right.
Yep.
And what was also funny to me is like seeing the picture of these guys. I would never guess they were a metal band.
Yeah.
Like they could have been Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
You would expect like a guy to have like a skull mask on or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Not a very sinister look to them.
No, which I like.
Me
It's
too.
Just all
It's
about the
cool.
music.
Yeah.
Me too.
I respect
Like you said, real authentic.
Yeah, I would like to see like a clip of them playing.
I don't think I ever have, honestly, now that you mention it.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any videos.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Yeah.
Some classical style solos in that song, too.
Definitely.
There was a solo like 2/3 of the way through. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
I really like this one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many that like I couldn't tell you the part of the song.
Right.
Or,
Yeah.
It's hard to, listen to an album once or twice and remember everything.
Yeah.
That's what I'm finding with these. It's like we do some albums that I'm super familiar with, like, Pink Floyd or Radiohead. And it's like I can recall parts.
Right.
This one's kind of harder.
Yes.
And I was thinking about that too, and I'm like, is this a knock on the album, or is this like a compliment to it that I can't really differentiate right off the bat? Like, oh yeah, that track really stood out. I didn't have any of that on this.
Yeah.
It was like all of the songs had moments, and the lines were so blurred. I don't know what was in what.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I liked that riff. I don't know where it was.
It's hard if there's not like a chorus or something really.
Loose structure.
Very.
Yeah.
Not
if there even
cookie
is
cutter. Yeah, I was gonna say there's no A-B.
Right.
Just...
Lots of weird changes.
But at the same time, I never felt like this was one of my knocks on Kill 'Em All, that it felt like a lot of those solos were just kind of like, okay, we're just gonna put this there, like just do something.
Yep.
I thought the one that stands out the most, I know we're going over a track here, but on Sacred Serenity, Colville's solo on that one, I thought
that one.
Completely organic. It was totally fluid. The song just hit it right to it,
The bass in the intro.
Oh my gosh. The opening of that song just made my fingers ache thinking about that.
Yeah, this guy, I thought he was the better of the metal guitarists.
Yeah.
If we're comparing this to Metallica or...
It didn't feel like a pentatonic jam.
Right.
It seemed much more structured.
Yeah.
Thought out.
Which is definitely a note in the album's favor.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of time spent. Yeah. No, I like Sacred Serenity a lot. And then Empty Words, I know we touched on it at the beginning, but that clean intro I really, really liked. And I don't know if that is Chuck playing that. Maybe. And what guitar he used specifically on this. I don't know if it had that X2N. I always associate clean metal lines with like being played on the bridge. Like they have that real, I don't know.
Like just kind of...
It's not like a warm, full-bodied clean. You know what I mean? It's a real like trebly...
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but...
Yeah.
There's a style to it.
Y'all mentioned Sacred. I said it sounded a little cheesy at times. Like, there were a few lines in there that, I don't know, I was getting like Dragon Force vibes from it.
Oh no.
It's the ultimate diss right there.
Yeah.
Those hit for me in 1,000 Eyes.
Oh yeah.
That was because that one was also had a super fast power opening.
Thrash vibes.
And that one like was where I had to kind of do a double take. It's like, okay, this is a different song, right? Like this is
the double bass start.
Yeah.
I just wrote fast by this one.
Yeah, that was where I did not care for track number 5, 1,000 Eyes.
Yeah.
Cheesy for Sacred Serenity.
Yeah, at times. At times. I was trying to find something to say besides,
That's an interesting criticism.
I'm gonna have to re-listen to that one.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Also, one other thing on Empty Words that I think that had the heaviest riffs up to that point. Like there were some
Empty Words,
strong death metal vibes in there, and like some heavy riffage.
Oh, the opening 3,
Yeah, for sure. Without Judgment. So many time changes.
I said, yeah, great drums.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the drum.
Dude, the riff at like 115, just so nasty.
Yeah.
Like, I loved that. And then the solo, weird tone around the 250 mark.
Yeah.
Something, yeah. But there's some kind of weird sound there.
Yeah. Electric guitar tone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Flange?
Maybe. Some more flange.
The guitar was
Phase
definitely
90.
Phase 90. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I really liked Without Judgment. I thought it was a good track.
Yeah, I gave it a B.
Yeah. I liked the solo that was a little later in the song when the tempo slowed up just a little bit, and they just let Coble have center stage. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a nice bounce back from Thousand Eyes.
Yeah, right.
Might have
A little change of pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Thousand Eyes might have been the thrashiest song on this album. Like just all speed.
Yeah, and it kind of teased you a little bit, moments where you thought they were going to slow down, and then they just go even faster.
Right.
And it kind of, this was kind of like there was System of a Down had the song Whiplash, right?
No.
Oh, that's not them?
That's Kill 'Em All.
That's Kill 'Em All? Oh, okay, yep, never mind.
Yeah, I could see that. It's kind of interesting, too, because I guess Death started, early, mid-'80s, so kind of in the Kill 'Em All time frame, but totally different, not totally different style.
Was it that early? I always thought Death
Their
was in the
first
90s.
album was 87,
Okay.
Yeah.
something like that. I think Chuck started, seriously playing, though, 84,
Okay.
85.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, similar time period.
Would you say this comes from a more, British metal tradition? Like Maiden and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, because I definitely felt some Maiden vibes early on. Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of Priest influence too, like Painkiller. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know when that came out, but
Yeah.
that whole double bass, just, you know what I mean? I feel like that kind of set the stage for a lot that came after it.
Yeah. I kept going back to Rush, though. I was like, man,
I could see that.
at least the guitar player must have been a big
Yeah.
Rush fan.
Yeah,
That was my guess.
I could definitely see
Tone-wise, some of his note choices and scales he was playing, very Alex Lifeson. And I love Alex Lifeson, so
that. I do too.
I like this.
Is a welcome comparison for me.
Yeah.
Crystal Mountain.
We went through this one a little bit, but the thing that was interesting to me about it was that, the singing almost felt out of place in this song. The instrumentation on this, the instrumentation on this one, it didn't, I don't even know if I'd call it metal, really. It had a very, it's just a weird, it was a weird sound. It was kind of I kind of forgot what I was listening to before Schuldiner came in with those thrashy tones of his.
Yes, man, that sounds painful.
It was it does.
What he's doing.
It does.
Yeah.
Voice.
Yep. It's how long could you sustain that?
Yeah, man.
You know, the technique there, is that just destroying his vocal cords or
grating the chords.
I don't know.
Was the acoustic guitar at the end of this one too fluky for y'all?
No.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I just watched
just
it.
a
Kind of a
classic
welcome
Death
change.
song.
Yeah.
I happen to be listening to a lot of this album when it was pouring down rain.
Oh,
and I was in the
nice.
car too.
Okay.
Nice.
Just kind of sitting in a parking space. And it was kind of perfect
It is
for
perfect.
this
Yeah.
dark.
Did you ever check it out with headphones at all?
No, I didn't.
Dude, the production is really, really
Yeah,
good.
I thought it was a good sounding album. I should have.
It was really good. I was very surprised. Very surprised.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, Misanthrope
Your favorite song?
might have been my favorite, yeah. Just love the intro, super sick riffs. At 1:20, I guess this kind of coincides with Pantera, but it had a very dime sounding style to it.
Yeah.
Felt like straight Dimebag riff to me.
Is Pantera? Pantera's not death metal, are they?
They're heavy
Okay.
metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get confused with all the metal genres.
Me too. There's more than I think.
Lots of cores.
Yes.
This is pre-core.
Dude,
right?
core and non-core are like people that like this stuff typically hate core.
Yeah.
Like hate core.
Yeah.
Yeah, core seems like an evolution from like. Oh man, I don't know how to. I don't want to catch some flack for this.
Go ahead.
It's just like. It seems like a lot of people that listen to like scene music and stuff, like Warped Tour kind of stuff, ended up into core, and it's very like it follows a cookie cutter structure. You know what I mean? It's just like kind of stems from screamo in a way, like that emo screamo kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, you know, it's just completely sacrilegious to people who like this stuff.
Yeah.
Like the bane of their existence.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I loved it. I also thought it had some kind of Slayer vibes to it, this song.
Okay.
Also prevalent at this point in time. Because this is 95, right?
Yep.
So.
Yep.
I wrote Beavis. Because I can just picture him going nuts.
Yeah.
Yes, especially at the start.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I could see that, definitely. Absolutely. Perennial. Last track.
There's perfect name for the longest song on the album.
I would say the proggiest
Yeah.
song on the album.
Yes.
Wonder if that has anything to do with the duration of it too. This is what, almost 10 minutes?
It was about 9, I thought.
20, something like that.
I think so.
It sounds like a prog song, the title. Quest.
Yep. Yep.
Gonna slay some goblins.
Yeah, kind of a little unexpected ending, I would say.
The clean outro,
Yeah, that, and it's a pretty steady open, honestly. It didn't...
kind of melodic.
Yeah, much more traditional sounding at the beginning.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, this was not as, like, heavy as some of the others to me. Like not as, like, sinister and dark.
Yeah, no.
Agreed.
There was kind of a sadness to that acoustic outro.
Yes, there was.
Have y'all ever heard Floods by Pantera?
No.
If I did, you probably showed it to me.
The outro to that, it has kind of like a cleanish out. It reminded me of this a little bit. Yeah. Kind of a similar style.
Could you see these guys
like a sad,
Pantera
clean
fans?
outro? Oh yeah, I would imagine they would have been fans, and vice versa. I bet Dime really liked Chuck. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Probably influenced by him a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I like Chuck,
Yeah.
honestly.
I know.
Gone
too soon.
Would you call Perennial Quest a strong finish?
I would.
It was maybe my favorite or second favorite on the album.
I liked it. I think this album started super strong, and I think it ended strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like you guys said, I honestly didn't know what to expect. And starting with Symbolic, like this song,
that was like a slap across the face.
Oh my gosh!
Like, which I did appreciate, actually. It wasn't not a lot of gimmicks to start this album. They got right to it.
Right. Yeah, I was just blown away by the progness.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate. And I mean, this closed as prog as it could be. It just, this album really surprised me.
Same here.
I expected just kind of the same old death metal formula throughout, and it was not that at all.
Yeah, there were a lot of breaks from, you know, if you don't like screaming, you know, you got plenty of time away from that.
Yes, and they were very welcome.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. I expected it to be like, okay, is this almost over? And for being proggy, it didn't seem to drag on.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, some prog things can seem a little long-winded, I think, at times, and that's just, I don't know, it held my attention.
No, I think this album was it went by pretty fast.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah. I was totally surprised as well.
Yeah. And it's, 53 minutes? Something like that?
I think so.
Yeah, it's not short.
No, it's not.
Right.
It's not a 40-minute album. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
I was too.
Just the vocals. That was my one complaint, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it fits You know, I can't imagine it any other
Right,
way. But
right.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem. I don't know. Sometimes the screaming thing seems gimmicky, but I feel like in this case he's good at it.
Yeah.
Like it's a really.
I don't know how to discern what's good and bad screaming.
Yeah.
But like I believe you.
I'm not a particular fan of it.
For this sound, I hear what you're saying.
I like the screaming on this better than like System of a Down.
I would have never guessed that, honestly.
Me too. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You like Schuldener's voice more than Surge?
I do. Yeah, the System stuff just didn't gel with me at all.
Yeah.
A
lot simpler.
Huh?
A lot simpler.
The System stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's way more just move kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Whereas with this, it's like, I feel like you're not just going to sit there.
Surge has a lot of weird themes too.
Yeah.
Which I definitely understand why it bothers some people. I kind of like it because I think a lot of it is a little bit funny, but I definitely understand people kind of being put off by it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I love this, but it just, it wasn't as like distracting.
No.
Yeah.
Once getting through, like, by the end of the album, when I'm used to hearing Schuldener's voice, I could really appreciate how awesome the rest of the band is, and how well structured a lot of these songs really are. It was surprising.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Go through it.
Yeah, there were so many changes. I couldn't even.
Yeah.
If I didn't take notes on this, I don't know that I could associate anything with a particular song.
Sure.
There's just so much to it.
It was hard to, because I couldn't. It was the songs varied so much that I wanted to stop them, but when I did that, it kind of ruined the vibe for me. Yeah. And I just start the song over and just wait for that moment to start taking notes.
It's a lot to take in.
This was a very challenging album to kind of really listen to and analyze.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a big prog rock fan anyway, so like it kind of worked for me.
Yeah. Nice. I was gonna say, Stefan, what would you say in terms of, did you like it, didn't like it, how would you rate it?
I think maybe this is cheap to say, but given that I had really I was kind of dreading this album, honestly. So with very, very low expectations, and they were completely surpassed. It was so different from what and maybe that's on me for not looking into this band, or maybe just like calling Mike and asking him about this album a little bit. Like I was kind of I got kind of swept away by this one, like midway through this album. That's awesome. Like it sucked me into it a little bit. Yeah. So I liked it. I can't decide if I'd recommend it or not.
I was going to say, who do you recommend it to?
Probably someone who's got kind of an open palette, I'd say. Yeah. This is certainly, I like these songs a lot. It's not easy listening to, even if you do like it. So it's, you'd have to know the person pretty well that you're recommending it to. But yeah, I was just happily surprised by the variety that was on this album. Yeah, and it was I'm glad that we got this request, and I'm glad we did this album.
How would you score it?
I'm kind of dancing between a 7 and an 8. I'd probably say 7 because I do dislike the vocals, and I feel like that should be a knock against it. There were moments where I thought that the songs dragged just a little bit. Even some of the solos, most of which I like, sometimes I thought they rambled for a bit. So I'd probably dock it a little for that. But it was definitely a positive experience going through it, and for something that was death metal, which is a total new element for me.
Such an abrasive, I thought the same thing before listening to it. I was like, oh man, like having heard, you know, a song or two from them, like, oh man. And when an hour of this,
I heard you say, like, before we did this, you're like, oh man, like this is. I was like, if you think it's
I was worried,
abrasive, I was like, man, this is gonna be rough.
I was worried for sure going into this.
What'd you think, Graham?
You know, pleasant surprise. I'm not one to listen to metal very often. But if I ever do, I'll probably reach for, you know, track 1 off this.
Symbolic.
Like
the title track.
I like this better than most of the metal I've heard.
That's awesome.
You know, still the voice gets a little tiring.
For sure.
But you know, the instrumental parts are cool. You know, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10.
That's solid.
It's doesn't quite make it into, you know, stuff I'm gonna definitely listen to again.
Right.
Yeah.
Or listen to very frequently.
Right.
I think there are a few songs I could listen to without even going back through the album. Which I definitely.
I know with as elaborate as they were, I'm like, I probably need to give everything. Or at least some a second listen.
Yeah. Oh, I had to do it. I had to do this twice.
Pick them apart. Yeah.
It was so. Yeah. It was.
Did y'all like the album cover?
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Me too.
Had kind of an old school, like, I don't know, old school kind of horror book feel to it.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
Like, what am I thinking of? Lovecraft?
Yeah, that kind of imagery.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. For sure.
Well, I was pleasantly surprised. I would say, for me, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought just as a whole, it was, I mean, it really surpassed my expectations.
Yeah.
And I thought it was extremely consistent.
Yeah.
There were no, like, man, the song sucked.
Right.
I didn't have that at all, you know?
Yeah.
It was just a lot to digest. But yeah, honestly, this made me want to check out some of their other albums. Just to, like, see, you know, knowing that the musicians, the lineup changed a lot, I'd be very curious to see, like, does it get proggier from here?
Right.
You know, what before and after, I'm very curious to see.
I don't feel like I would like the ones before this.
Right.
If this was when they started getting more melodic and proggy.
Because
that's what I like about it.
And I don't think they have many albums. There's what, 6 maybe?
Yeah, it didn't look like they had huge body of work.
Right.
How did Chuck die?
Brain tumor. Jeez. I'm pretty sure. In 2001.
Oh God.
Yeah. And I don't know if they had like stopped playing like well before that, or if it was like he's sick, we're done, you know, like a year prior. I don't know, but
he kind of was the band, I guess.
Yeah, I think it dissolved from there.
Right.
Just done. But yeah, recommending.
That's tough. That is tough.
This seems very specific.
If you're a metalhead, sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Chances are, though, you've probably heard of Death if you are.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, because it's pretty niche, I would say. Maybe somebody trying to get into death metal. This is a good introduction.
Yeah.
See, I didn't really know what death metal was. But is it usually this proggy and melodic?
No.
Okay.
No. I would say this is more technical. This album specifically, I think, is more technical death metal.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say if you're a prog rock fan that likes things a little heavier, I'd recommend it.
There you go. Yeah.
That's the perfect listener right there.
You hit it right on the head. I would agree.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, if you're still with us, thank you so much for sticking around. We are 3 different ones. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share this video on your social media platforms. We'll be back again soon, so come back to see us. Thank you.